Good rainy morning from Barcelona. We're starting our morning off at Mercado de la Boqueria, which is a famous meat and produce market. They have all kinds of stands set up selling things, and even a few bars here where you can buy things. So we're gonna go in, get some food, try it out, and keep the day moving as best as we can in this rain.
Bright, it's colorful, there's lots of fresh produce, candied nuts, peppers hanging from the ceiling, and it smells fantastic.
Very big social scene, so stop in here, get some juice, have some of the tapas, and just enjoy yourself. Walking by this little stand, and they had something that caught our eye. Both love eggplant, so eggplant with a little almost tzatziki on top, some roasted red pepper, dried tomato, and topped off with an olive. That's what happens when you're strong. Alright, now for the star of the show. We've been in Spain for a little over 8 days now. We still haven't had paella, so we jumped at the opportunity to grab some. We have this beautiful dish sitting out right now. Has prawns on top, mussels, calamari on the inside. Cooks beautifully. The rice is al dente, so it's not mushy. There's a little bite there. Seasoned super properly, and a decent size too.
Throughout the market, there's lots of different little boquerias where you can stop, sit down, and you can basically see them cooking your food right in front of you. Seems like the thing to do, so we stopped and did it.
We came to this particular one because Jen wanted a food item called Pimiento de PADRÓN, which is a little green pepper that's fried and then salted.
They're delicious.
She thought they were baked. We're gonna keep it pushing now to Casa Batlló, but we're walking up on La Rambla. La Rambla, which is a famous street here. And interesting story, but in 2001 I was on the same street. It's very notorious for pickpocketing, street performances alike. That's how the pickpocketers target their audience. So a very young me got caught slipping, and somebody jacked me for $20 out of my back pocket. So if you're walking down the street, beware, be cautious.
Behind me is one of Gaudi's remodeled homes. That one is Casa Batlló. We're gonna admire it from the outside, only because we're saving all of our money to go to Sagrada Familia. You can go inside, and I'm sure it's phenomenal. It's actually pretty cool from the outside too, but it costs a little over 23 euro to go inside that one. And then Gaudi has another one not far from here, Casa Milà, and that is about 22 euros. So if you have the money and you have the time, I would highly recommend going in, even though I've never been in, but it's also very cool to see from the street.
So upon first impression, when we look at the building, it kind of resembles like Dia de los Muertos a little bit. It has great color, bright, vibrant mosaic tiles that are on it. But there's also kind of an ode to death, which we've noticed. Some of the balconies have a skull-like barrier on them.
But not really a scary skull, it's more of like the Night Before Christmas type, almost fun skull, if that makes sense, if that's a thing.
And then some of the pillars from floor to floor resemble bones. There is a rooftop on top which you can access if you have a ticket. It's supposed to be really cool. A quick 6-minute walk up the street from the Casa Batlló is Casa Milà. This was the last residential building that Gaudi designed. And in addition to it being a private residence, a museum, and a concert hall, it's also used as a cultural center.
It really looks like a sandcastle, and the balconies are made out of like kelp or seaweed.
even though we're getting drenched, we're gonna keep the day pushing. We're now headed to a free walking tour here in Barcelona. Very easy to find. If you go online, you can book a date and a time. Should kick back an email confirmation with where you're gonna meet. These tours last anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. It's all on foot, so wear comfortable shoes. And it is expected to tip on the tour, so average rate is anywhere from 10 to 15 euro per person.
My name is James, like James Bond or James Dean, just so you remember, equally as handsome, of course. And now we're going to go into the Gothic Quarter, which is the epicenter, where it all began, and it's the political heart of Catalonia today.
On this tour is amazing, and the rain's really not that bad, so rain or shine, definitely sign up for one of these. It's good.
Grab an umbrella, some waterproof shoes, and get outside. All right, a little bit wetter, a little bit more informed, and now we're taking a break.
Halfway through the tour, they'll bring you to a local bar and you can buy a beer or just kind of hang out for a little bit.
Use
and
the
in this
bathroom.
case, take a little break from the rain.
We had to tap out. It is a monsoon outside right now. It's terrible. We don't have umbrellas. We weren't prepared today. We soaked as much up as we could, literally and figuratively, during the first half of the tour. So, unfortunately, we're not going to continue, but we do recommend it. It was a great way to know the city and a great way to improve your knowledge, too, of where you're visiting. Dude, we are soaked. Okay, we're back. It's later on at night, around 8:30, and we're headed to the Montjuïc Fountain, which on certain nights, during certain times, they put on this crazy light show and it changes every 15 minutes. So we're headed out right now. It should take us about 30 minutes to get there. First reaction.
I love it. It's honestly, it feels magical. It feels like something you see.
It's actually called the Magic Fountain at Montjuïc.
It's honestly really cool. Want to get a seat on the stairs, I highly recommend getting here early because as you can see, it gets really packed.
There's several thousand people behind us right now that are all watching it on the lower level and the upper tiers.
It is pretty cool though because if you walk kind of on the upper level, there's another waterfall that's pretty nice to look at too.
Doesn't jump like this one does, but it is still pleasant to look at. It's no Bellagio, but it'll do.
It's pretty nice.
It'll do. And incredibly enough, Gaudi had a litlittle Scottish terrier named Pepe, and he would sit in that very window and compose some of the most beautiful poetry you've ever heard in your life. I made all that up. What?